This video is going to cover examples 2 and 3 for lesson 3.2. This can be found in your additional examples packet on page 1. So in example 2, they ask us to find the value of x. Now I know I have two parallel lines here that are cut by a transversal. And so all my special angle pairs, all those properties, those theorems like corresponding angles, alternate interior, alternate exterior, those theorems apply here. So this can help us find some congruent angles because we need to set up an equation to find x. So we know we're going to have to come up with an equation. To do that, first, I need to be able to figure out what this x plus 5 degree angle is equal to and why. So if I'm looking at my picture, I have that this angle is 115 degrees. I have this angle labeled for me. This is not 4 degrees. This is just naming this angle as angle 4. And I know this angle here is x plus 5 degrees. So I got to think about, what do I know? Do I know any of these angle measures? Well, angle 4, I know angle 4 has to be 115 degrees. I'm just going to put that down. Measure of angle 4 has to be 115 degrees because it's vertical angles with the 115 degree angle. So I'm just going to go ahead and put 115 degrees in where angle 4 was. So now I'm asking myself, do I know anything about these two angles? Is there a special relationship between angle 4 and this angle down here, x plus 5 degrees? And so I'm interested in, do these form a special angle pair? And they do. You'll notice, if I think of this yellow space being the interior, these are both interior angles and they're on the same side of the transversal. So these two angles are consecutive interior angles. And we know by the consecutive interior angles theorem that these two angles are supplementary, means they have to add up to 180 degrees. That helps us write an equation. I know that my 115 degree angle plus x plus 5 degrees, well, that has to be equal to 180 degrees. And I know that, I know that because these two angles are consecutive interior angles. And we know by the consecutive interior angles theorem that they are supplementary when those lines are parallel. So I have this equation now that I can go ahead and solve. So I'm going to add 115 with 5 to get 120. Then I'm going to subtract 120 on both sides. And I see that x is 60 degrees. Let's move on to example 3. All right, we need to find the value of x. So again, I have some parallel lines here. It might help if you like to shade your interior to help you figure out which angles are interior and which angles are exterior. Go ahead and do that. I know this angle here is 136 degrees. So I'm asking myself, does this help me find any other angles? Well, I'm probably going to need to use angle 1 because they have this labeled for me. So I got to ask myself, how are angle 1 and this 136 degree angle related? Well, I can see that they make a linear pair. Together, they are adjacent and make a straight line. Well, I know if they make a linear pair, then they have to add to 180 degrees. That helps me find the measure of angle 1. I know if I take 180 and I subtract 136 from that, that will give me the measure of angle 1. And I know that because those two angles make a linear pair. So the measure of angle 1 is 44 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and add that in my picture. So remember, I'm trying to find x. So I'm trying to figure out, can I write an equation by using some relationship between this angle and any other angle that I know? So I'm looking for any of my special angle pairs. Well, this angle is an exterior angle. And I can see this 44-degree angle is also exterior, and they are on opposite sides of the transversal. Well, that tells me, since the two lines are parallel, that the alternate exterior angles have to be congruent. They have to be equal in measure. That helps me come up with an equation. I know that 7x plus 9 has to be equal in measure to 44 degrees because those two angles are alternate exterior angles. So now we're just going to go ahead and solve this equation. I'm going to subtract 9 on both sides. Then divide both sides by 7 to get that x is equal to 5.